Welcome back, my friends. Here we are again, episode 18. We're making amazing progress. We just came from Lesotho in South Africa, and before that, Shanghai in China. And below us now, looking from upon the stars, is a very interesting area. If you look at the streets, you can kind of get an idea of where we may be. Very historic, very significant, and a bit dark. So we're going to dive in here and take a look around. Let's just jump in here because it's an endpoint. Very nice trees. Interesting buildings. And, if you're cheating a bit and you're noticing the signs and the Google signage, you'll have an idea just how ominous, kind of eerie the place is. And, maybe I shouldn't say eerie, but when we explore here, it may make sense about what it is. And this is an episode where, be interesting to have your comments about what you think about places like this around the world. What I really appreciate about this is actually being able to be here and be on ground floor looking at an area like this that is really infamous, for lack of a better term. I thought we just passed a bicycler. Maybe it was my mind playing tricks on me. These creek trees remind me a lot of ones you would see in the Midwest. A lot of creeks, like in Texas to Colorado, California, Central, towards the Sierras. Interesting little driveway. And these little pipes here, I think they're kind of used for heating, agriculture, I want to say, fruit trees, but I'm not sure. Maybe it's something else, fuel, and maybe they're insulated to keep pipes from bursting, because I think it gets cold here, but I could be completely wrong. Very cool looking building. Love the tile work up top. Love the windows. And just look at this vehicle here. Blue. Interesting gate. The vehicle looks rather small in comparison to this building, but if you look at the size of the door, these are huge windows. And I don't know if it's just the angle, but the car still looks small for the type of bus it is. But if I could take this vehicle back home with me, I certainly would. That looks like one of the coolest vehicles I've ever seen. Love the green trees. This is just a beautiful day in June. Interesting windows, colorization. Love the green brickwork. Someone out taking a stroll. It's like maybe a government yard of some sort. Got some fuel in here, some storage. Nice shadows of these trees. Midday in June. So in June, you know, sun is almost head high. So if you square up on your shadow, this way should be north. So there's the sun. You know, typically it's towards the top. And then shadows will cast roughly north if you're in the northern hemisphere. So seems like that's about north. Little navigation tool for y'all, and something I'll probably repeat a lot on this show just because I find times of day on this channel pretty interesting. Well, looks like the nuclear sign there. Little Fallout station perhaps. Maybe something different. Love this vehicle too. There's a station over here. Stop. Nice vehicles, nice buildings, beautiful greenery. Looks like a giant residential complex. It's really nice. I'm gonna zoom out a bit, and figure we'll go up along this street here. Again, interesting with these pipes. I'm not sure what it is, but if anyone has any wisdom about why they are the way they are, it's pretty fascinating to me. I think maybe in a lot of cities they do have them, but they put them underground. These just miraculously go over the roadways. So kind of peculiar, but very well done nonetheless. It's providing a city service for something. What it is, I'm not sure. Love this house. Very historic looking rooftop, you know. Something about it. With the windows, odd number on the side. Nice vegetation overall. Looks like they've taken good care of the roads, you know, the cracks. You know, I think when they have cracks like this, it looks like they're kind of filled up. So that just helps from the freezing, thawing, and the expansion of cracks. So it really helps keep the roads together. Interesting tree there. A lot of trees here are kind of like cut down. And these poles are kind of like, I guess they're metal, but reinforced with the outer core of like concrete. I want to say rudimentary concrete of sorts, because it's very similar in appearance to the roads. But that helps them from the weathering, is my guess. Whoa. I swear I'm not using that much bandwidth elsewhere, so I'm not sure why this is blurred the way it is. Whew, okay. Whoa, I'm not sure what happened there. Let's dive back in. Huh. I'm just passing this vehicle here. Unless, you know, of course we're navigating the other way, which we probably are. Interesting. So it looks like people are residing here. Got some open windows. Looks like someone's doing their laundry outside. Cool little courtyard looking thing back there. Nice 5-story building. Again, a lot of the pipes everywhere. Love the windows. So much to see. I don't know if these bulbs are mistletoe, but that's kind of how mistletoe works. It's a tree fungus. I think it's like a parasite of trees. And that's what that looks like there for those. Can I go? Yeah. I keep going down the street. This guy kind of looks like he's got military fatigues on. So if that's 45, and if we're talking kilometers per hour, that's pretty slow. It's like almost, what, 23 miles an hour, I think. There's residential area, people hanging out, doing their thing. Pretty minimal though, overall. Few people. Let's check this out. Wow. So wow, okay, so as you've guessed, we're in Chernobyl, and I think a nuclear reactor fell apart here, and I can imagine the urgent mode that a lot of people had to go into and then risk their lives for others. So my hat's off to them for, you know, putting their lives on the line for others, because, you know, you could still fail even while they're trying to fix things. And that's a shame that that happened, but you know, that's just how life pushes us sometimes, you know, and weird mistakes happen. Привет, Верди Dolomite. I do not, like I said before, in Yakutsk, I don't have it down. This is Ukraine, of course, but I know very little. See if we can see some photos, perhaps, of here. Doesn't look like it's letting it. It looks like interesting earlier that there was buildings with numbers on them, and these buildings are numbered as well. So I'm not sure why. I don't know if it was done that before the meltdown or if it was done now just to keep track of where people are living. But I'm guessing maybe people live here. Well, 86 up there. Remember we saw a 10 earlier. This lumber looks fresh, so I'm guessing people are living there, judging by these tracks too. Living there? I mean, I don't know. Are we still in the thick of it? Do people want to live here? We're gonna cheat a little bit, and we're gonna zoom out and Memorial Star Windward. See what photos we have. Statue of Lenin. Wow. Very interesting. Frost up there and holes in falling apart building. Now that is something else. Look at the wood. Different contrasting colors between light and dark, and the homes are still holding together. And I believe this whole event happened in the I want to say early 70s. Let's check up here. So this must have been really detrimental for especially people nearby. I mean, it's most especially people in the city, but you know, you look at the rivers and you're like, man, some of that water is probably contaminated and flowed down, so that's pretty horrible. See, was looking back towards huge looking river. Very calm though. Giant, looks deep. Something about it looks very wide and deep. Very sandy shoreline. And looks like, you know, standard creek brush and trees. A little May gray right there. Let's look up here towards the top of town. Looks like that same photos earlier. This area in here, I wonder if this is where everything went down. You know, I don't know. Let's go right here. So this is weird. Looks like something man-made over there. Hasn't been tended to in a while. As I recall, like nuclear reactors need a lot of energy, need a lot of water, I think, to keep things cool. Maybe this is where it was. I have no idea. But, you know, this looks like boats, right? I can't dive inside of any of that. And what we saw from that one clearing looked like there was boats over there. So again, some more mystery with that. See what this is. Wow. So probably stuff that was built throughout time to be able to go in and look at things. Looks like a armored personnel carrier, or APC. Very cool little vehicle right there. Pretty random. Huh. Very interesting area. I mean, I'm kind of getting mystified by it all. Closer shot. Looks like some locals here. This good chap's taking a photo of it all. I got the maps earlier to like show like a red line around the town. Excuse me. I think that was probably the contaminated zone. Let's see, more towards the south here. Nice hut. Surrounded by the trees. Looks very original there. Meaning that the fallout happened. Nobody probably returned the here and everything kind of grew up around it. Whew. It's a very majestic looking road right there. Very grown over. Looks very new right there, you know, with the fence. Definitely a fun trail. Looks like a long one at that. So this is June. Looks like we're going the wrong way though, because this vehicle is stirring up all the debris. Interesting red right there. I'm not sure what those are. But so we're going through the dirt air of the vehicle that passed through here. Interesting barn. Peculiar crossroads. But you know what? It's almost jungle-like. It's just so thick. And there's just vines and all kinds of things. So that is like a thick area. Pretty fun just to navigate through, see what's here. So very mysterious because it seems like very mixed from stuff that's, you know, seems to be people living in it to not living in it. Like this. This looks like some kind of hub of the town. A little bit, anyways. Look at this. Nice. That is awesome. I want one of these. That is so great. Look at the door. The curtains are something else. But love the blue. Multi-passenger. I think it's a Rumbler. I'm gonna try to duck into a couple more areas to see if, you know, what else is, you know, maybe new or old. It's just very mysterious because there's like, there's no trash, there's very little cars. I mean, it just seems like you can come in here, but you probably don't want to stay here. There's probably bits of the fallout still here. Wow, look at that. So, very grown over. You know, 30 years of brush and trees. People are probably hanging out here having a good time. Not to sound morbid, but man, this was really nice. I mean, you're right by the river, beautiful greenery. These homes were really beautiful. And you know, even with no work after all this time, they're still standing quite well. It's just amazing how much the land is just taking it back. So even this trail, like, you know, I wonder what that would have looked like back in the 60s, 70s. Like, did they have to redo this trail, you know, 5-10 years ago? Look at that, another one, and look at this, just like, you almost got plants growing off of the roof there. Very interesting, very mysterious. It's just, you know, time, I guess, does that. Can dramatically change things rather fast. That's a big area. Kind of looks like it was a school or something. Beautiful green trees. A lot of different kinds too. Looks like we're back to the mystery mistletoe. Looks like there might be a little crisscross intersection here, slightly paved. Boy, can you imagine navigating through here? Because there's no street signs. I mean, if I was driving through here, I feel like it's the side with the big tree across from the telephone pole, and then you go left. You go left. Okay. Hopefully, I understood the tree, right? The tall tree across from the pole. And there's my house. Wow. Look at that. These poor people. Sorry if this is a bit of a morbid episode, but hopefully it makes you appreciate life all the more. Looks like there's some modern people living here. So, I guess that's what it is, you know? There's a mixture of old and new, and people still hanging out. You know, there's probably people living in here now. Probably a lot more than I would think, you know? Maybe not. It's just hard to tell. So, if anyone has any more simple info on it, I mean, I'm sure I can search for myself, but, you know, it'd be interesting to see what other people have found out there as Cliff Notes versions, because obviously there's a lot of controversy over what happened in Chernobyl, and nonetheless, it's been very interesting to check out, and hopefully this gives you all some perspective of, you know, different part of the world and what people have experienced over time. So that's been a lot of fun. I really appreciate you all tuning in, and very helpful to have questions, comments. As always, let me know what you think. This has been a fun time on the border of Ukraine and Belarus. Central, I should say. Central North Ukraine. That's been a lot of fun. So, as always, my friends, thank you so much for tuning in. This has been a fantastic episode. Just cruising around in Chernobyl. Thank you all for showing up. See y'all next time. Bye-bye.